I think if you ask most Pokemon collectors, Pokemon players, and Pokemon fans, probably there wouldn't be many that would say Charizard is their favourite Pokemon. Hello and welcome to the PokeBros podcast. My name is Tim.
My name's Jon.
And together we are the PokeBros. Welcome back. If you joined us for episode 1 on Friday, you are so welcome. If this is your first video with us, you are also very welcome. Whether you're watching on YouTube or streaming on the podcast app or Spotify or wherever it may be, make sure to click that subscribe button or follow us to make sure that you keep up with all of the latest episodes. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure that you go over to that little thumbs up and make it go blue for us. That would make us very happy and also help us with the algorithms as well. We're so excited that you're joining us. It's the start of our journey. We're second episode in and loving this adventure so far. And today we're going to be speaking about a very special guy. He's one of the most popular Pokemon cards ever. Really, and who is that, Jon?
So the Pokemon we talk about today is Charizard, probably the most or one of the most famous Pokemon there is. Like Tim just said, you've got people like Pikachu, who everyone knows, but for Pokemon fans, it seems like this Charizard is the big deal. Like whenever there's a Charizard in a Pokemon set, that set is automatically a popular set. Whenever there's a Charizard in a Charizard set in a Pokemon set, he's automatically one of the most expensive cards in that set, if not the most expensive. He's the big deal. And yeah, most people love him. I love him. So yeah.
I think he's an interesting character, isn't he? Like when I think back to the TV show at the start, he was probably the start of Pokemon that had the most interesting storyline in the TV show stuff, with being that sort of, spoilt brat of a Pokemon that, didn't really want to listen and things like that. So I guess Pokemon have sort of invested, quite a bit in his storyline in the TV show side of things as well, and kind of shot him to that popularity. But I think the thing that's like really been bugging me, Jon, you've been in Pokemon, longer than I have. I'm still new to this, so a lot of this conversation, guys, is going to be me asking Jon lots of questions and trying to learn for myself as we go as well. But it seems to me that Charizard always seems to be the most expensive card. He just seems to be so valuable. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, the truthful answer is I don't know. I know that if a Charizard's in a set, it's going to be a sellout set pretty much. He's a card which everybody wants, and like some of the reasoning you were saying about him in the TV show, how popular he was that like rebel character. But even like the beginning of when he was a Charmander, you see Ash pick him up after Charmander has been rejected from his trainer. Like that whole thing. So you have the sympathy from at the beginning, like this Pokemon's just been left behind, all the way to when Ash is trying to get in on his side when he actually is that Charizard. It's a massive story, like you said. And I think that really helps in the popularity of the character. But when it comes to why is he so popular, I think one of the biggest things with that is the nostalgia around it. So the original Pokemon set, base set, you see Charizard in that set, and Charizard is the card everyone wants. You see, you hardly ever see PSA 10 base set Charizards. The price of them is absolutely unreal. It's I think I sent you through some numbers. It was £74,000 was the last sale for a PSA 10 Charizard, and that's in comparison to the second most expensive card in the set was that Blastoise, and last sale of a PSA 10 for that was 20 grand. So almost 4 times the price.
It's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, you're talking, over 50 grand difference for a card. And it's not even like, all of those base set one cards are, that high in value. It's literally just Charizard flying ahead. And obviously they're all very valuable. But compared to Charizard, he just seems to be streets ahead, doesn't he?
Yeah, and like even in the reprints of this base set, when you got the base set, which wasn't first edition, he's very sought after, shadowless or not. When you got the base set 2, which came out, a set which wasn't as popular, and the price is PSA 10 Charizard in a base set 2, which is pretty much a third reprint of the original first edition base set, he's still $7,000 in that, compared to Blastoise, who again is the second most expensive at the last sale of $1.2 grand. It's absolutely unreal. Again, it's 4 times the price of that second most expensive card. Like, it's unseen in Pokemon before, especially in these the first 151 Pokemon to come out. Charizard was miles ahead of any Pokemon, any legendary, any Pokemon like Pikachu, who was meant to be like the central point of the TV show. He was just miles ahead in terms of that popularity.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Because Pikachu, you'd argue is the kind of the poster child of Pokemon. He's everywhere, but yet he's actually not always that valuable, especially not compared to Charizard. Which
I think. I'm sorry. I think like with Pikachu though, Pikachu in general is. I mean, this might be a bit controversial, but Pikachu in general is a very weak Pokemon.
Controversial.
Ash's Pikachu is so strong is the amazing thing. You see Team Rocket go after this Pikachu for the whole journey because it is a special Pikachu. Whereas Charizard seems just show power, strength. Like, it wasn't. I don't think he's ever been confirmed as a dragon type. People like to think he's a dragon type.
I mean, he looks like a dragon, doesn't he?
I think there was a phase when he was considered a dragon as well. He's like, he can use dragon type moves in the Pokemon games, but even then, you got someone like Dragonite, who was popular, but nowhere near the popularity of Charizard. Dragonite was he in base set? I don't think he was in base set. I think he was in another set, but still the popularity. I feel like they should be more similar, but they're just not. Charizard just completely destroys him.
It's crazy, isn't it? And yeah, absolutely amazing. So we've got like the base set, first edition Charizard, talking 75 grand, and then we've got base set 2, like you said, third reprint. Usually you'd expect that to drop in value loads, and obviously from the £75,000, it is a lot lower in value. But then, what other sets? There's another set with a more valuable Charizard than that, isn't there?
Yes, so that is Legendary Collection set. It's actually an interesting set because when it first came out, you'll see the reverse. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the reverse Gengar Holo on screen. A lot of people actually thought this set was fake because of how different this reverse card was. And because of that, sales weren't great. And the cards became rarer and rarer. And that's why I think this Legendary Collection, which came out a bit of time after base set 2, is still, like, the value is still there. Even like the reverse cards, because I think they look amazing, but also the cards like Charizard, because if the packs weren't open because people thought it was fake, then there's not as many of them Charizards out, and because of supply and demand in the market, there's not as many Legendary Collection PSA 10 Charizards, and that's why it's like that 12,000 price tag on it.
It's great, and I think the interesting thing for me looking at the Charizard here is that, you know, over the years we've seen so many different designs of Charizard, so many different artworks, but again, this Legendary Collection is going down very much the same line of same artwork of the Charizard. Nothing changed much except for the fact that it's a different set. You could argue that the fact that it's, you know, so similar to what it's been in the past, why would it still be valuable? But yet again, it's still that chase card that you know, people are desperate to get their hands on. And the other thing, this is sort of off topic a little bit. I mean, this is my learning conversation now. But in some of the more recent packs that I've been opening, reverse rares don't tend to be that important. You know, you don't seem to get that excited over a reverse card or even a reverse rare. You know, you don't get that excited. But yet in this set, that reverse Gengar is the second most popular or second most valuable card. And is that just because of the different design on the card?
I mean, I think this reverse is valuable because I think it looks so different. I mean, reverses only really came in the Neo series, which was, I think it was early 2000s anyway. And so it was quite a new concept, with reverse holo. To be able to get a holo card every single pack was like a breakthrough moment. And you're right, like reverses aren't seen as that rare really anymore. You sort of skip past the reverse to get to the holo.
You definitely skip past it. It's just the card that you hang on for slightly longer to give yourself some suspense before you take it off and you hit the back card.
I think Pokemon recognise that because you've seen in like the XY series of Pokemon cards, they introduce break cards sometimes in that reverse slot. In Hidden Fates, they've released shiny cards in that reverse slot. And even in things like Cosmic Eclipse, you can get them full art cards in their reverse slot. And there's probably more I'm not thinking of now. And I think Pokemon recognised that the reverses are groundbreaking when they first came out in these Neo sets and this Legendary Collection, but not so much now. And it is going off topic a little bit, but yeah, I think they're recognising that and trying to bring some excitement back to that slot in the pack.
Yeah, nice. It's great. Really cool. What else have we got in the line of these Charizards things? I think at this point we start to see a bit of a design change and an artwork change on the Charizards, right?
Yep, and we go to the Expedition pack as well. Again, the price of these Charizard is compared. This Charizard in PSA 10, the last sale of it was $5,600. Compared to the second most expensive card in the set was Mew at $1,200. But this Charizard is a completely different artwork. It's in the E Series sets which came out. Wizards of the Coast started them. But that artwork, I actually really like that artwork on that Charizard.
Yeah, it's so different, isn't it? It's literally nothing like the previous Charizards.
No, not at all. And like you look at this Charizard here, and like I think the artwork what we've seen so much before on the base set 2, that was iconic because of the nostalgia around it. That was the card which a lot of people saw when they were kids, whereas this is like a completely new take. The Charizard's flying through the skies. Still, his main move costs 4 energy, but it's a great card, great artwork. 5,600. It's I mean, I would say great price. I can't afford it. But
yeah, one day.
for a classic Charizard, it's not actually that expensive compared to what it could be.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I like the the appearance of this Mew here for the second most valuable card. Yeah, I love Mew. I think Mew is just a great Pokemon, a great card. So I love seeing him pop up.
Yeah, definitely.
Next up,
we've got
Shock Horror. Shock Horror.
It's an interesting one, this one. I don't know. I only picked out a few Charizard prices, so there might be a couple more sets where he isn't the most expensive card. But in this set particularly, it's the X-Power Keeper set. He's actually the third most expensive card in the whole set. You've got the Jolteon here at PSA 10, Gold Star Jolteon, which is 2,500. And actually in second, you've got Vaporeon Gold Star, which is only $125 more expensive than Charizard in the last sale. But yeah.
But just to see him as, not first most valuable, not even second most valuable, but actually coming in third place here it's a bit of a shock.
Yeah. But I also think you look at this Charizard card, if you're watching on YouTube, you see it on the screen. But it's actually, compared to some of the original Charizards, I think it's a pretty naff card. Not design. The design is quite interesting. Maybe it's not as exciting. But even the power of the moves, doing 50 damage compared to, I can't remember what it was on the other Charizards damage-wise. But it's not as good of a card. It's not as exciting a card. Yeah, 100 damage. And this is a base set Charizard. Cards are generally following the line of getting better and better each set and becoming more and more overpowered. Whereas this Charizard, even though it burns the defending Pokemon, it seems to have taken a bit of a power cut. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe that was part of the reason. I don't know, guys, if you watch this, let us know in the comments whether you think that Charizard was robbed in terms of its value in that set, or whether you still reckon that Charizard would be the card that you'd be chasing in that set there. Then this next one, John, we're going to talk about the Hidden Fates set. I suppose that this is going to be a big question for lots of people who are watching this. There's lots of sort of people who've got back into Pokemon again recently. And many people would argue that one of the big reasons for so many people getting back into Pokemon, definitely one of the reasons for me getting back into Pokemon, is this Hidden Fates set. It's kind of, brought a lot of people back on board, got a lot of people excited about it again. And this Charizard GX in particular, from the Shiny Vault, it has made this such a popular set. What do you think about the Hidden Fates set?
I love it. I personally think it's a bit overpriced now. The scarcity of the amount of tins, pin boxes you can get has pushed the price up so much. But it's such a popular set. You see YouTubers like a Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber called Simply Unlucky. He's a complete Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber, but because of his set, sometimes at the end of his videos, he'll open some hidden fate sets just see if he can pull that chase card Charizard. And I've been lucky enough to pull both these cards on screen. Charizard GX it in a PSA 10, it's over $2,000, and the Sylveon GX, who's over $400 in a PSA 10. But the likelihood of getting one of these cards is so small. I believe a full art shiny cards is 1 in every 10 packs, which isn't even 1 in every 2 tins. It might be a bit less on the odds, but it's around about that. But I think that's what's building the excitement around it. Like if you open a tin and you get one of these full art shinies, you've done well. And that adrenaline rush that you get from getting any of these shinies, any of the evolutions, or even the Charizard, will make you much more than your money back. But it is sort of a hit and miss set. If you don't hit anything, you've just thrown, let's say, 40, 50 quid for a tin down the drain.
Yeah, and this is that set, isn't it, with the shiny vault, which is got way more cards than the actual set itself has got. You know, it is just so different, so radical compared to what Pokemon have done in the past. Okay, here's a question for you, John. If we were to take Charizard GX out of the shiny vault, it wasn't there, would Hidden Fates be as popular as it is now?
I don't know. I think the shiny vault concept is amazing. Like being able to get an amazing, probably more expensive than any card in the set. Not probably, it is more expensive than any card in the set. In that reverse slot, like you've got some amazing Pokemon, all the evolutions in there. You got the Umbreon, you got Sylveon here, Leafeon, all these great cards. I think maybe it would be. I mean, this might be wrong to say. Maybe it would be as popular, but nowhere near as expensive. Or maybe some of the evolutions might be even more expensive because they'll probably become the main chase card, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't think it would be as a historical though, because this set is a pretty historical set. Like they're reprinting it, which is very unusual for Pokemon to do. This Charizard, you see people just crying to get this Charizard, spending thousands of pounds. Like I saw this pack opening of like 1,000 packs just to try and pull this Charizard. I saw someone open 80 tins and not get this Charizard, and it's that feeling like these people spending loads of money on these packs and getting in, but also you got that kid, and I suppose I'm that kid who opens that one tin, and you don't usually open these tins, and you do get that Charizard, and you go absolutely nuts. I think, I don't think it would be as expensive. I think that's if I'm talking, I've sort of brought myself around to this conclusion. I don't think it would be as expensive. I don't think it would take all the fun out of it, of this Hidden Fate set, but it definitely wouldn't be like, to get that Charizard GX is unlike any feeling ever.
Well, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about that Hidden Fate set. You know, if we take Charizard out, is it still as good? Would you still buy it if there was no Charizard GX possibility in that tin? It's a good question for us to ask. And then I suppose the final sort of question that we thought it'd be good to look at is, you know, is there any Pokemon that even comes close to Charizard? And I think from my point of view, like even just looking at these, you know, cards that we've spoken about today, the only cards that have kind of really come close or that have actually beaten at some point are the evolutions. You know, there's a lot of people who love those evolutions, and obviously we saw in the the EX Power Keepers set that actually that Jolteon Gold Star coming in on top in terms of valuation, and here we got the Sylveon as the second most valuable card in the Hidden Fate set. For me, I mean, is that the only Pokemon that comes close, John?
I don't know. Like, I mean, the evolutions, like you said, are so popular. I mean, they keep creating more of them, so they must be doing quite well. Seems like every series that comes out, there's at least one new one. But well, not the Sword and Shield, but you know what I mean. There's always new evolutions. I don't know how they're going to make any more, but I'm pretty sure they will.
Oh, definitely.
I was looking at some research coming up to this session, and there's loads of unofficial polls what people do about the most popular Pokemon, and the majority of them, Charizard was top, or at least in the top 3. But a few Pokemon that did come up was like Greninja, Mimikyu, Pokemon like that, which aren't Gen 1 Pokemon, which is interesting because Gen 1 seems to be the Pokemon which everyone can get on board of. The old school people, newer people like Gen 1 Pokemon. But it's interesting that these Pokemon from different gens. Mimikyu, I think, was Generation 7. I'm not sure, and I can't remember when Greninja was. But these two Pokemon are I suppose, rivaling Charizard's popularity. I don't know if I'll ever beat the popularity in trading cards, because Charizard will always be a powerful card, whether it's for collecting or the trading card game. Like, I think that also pushes up his price. I
guess there's a difference as well, isn't there, that we're seeing is that there's a difference between value and popularity. And it's almost just become a thing with the Charizard now, that Charizard is always going to be the most valuable, and it's always going to be that sort of chase card. But actually, I think if you ask most Pokemon collectors, Pokemon players, and Pokemon fans, probably there wouldn't be many that would say Charizard is their favorite Pokemon. You know, they'd always have different Pokemon that are their favorite, that are most popular for them. But yet everyone still wants to chase that Charizard card in whatever set it is. So, you know, maybe there's more popular Pokemon cards, but I think probably one thing we can say for sure from this podcast is there aren't many, if any, more valuable Pokemon cards than the Charizard.
Definitely not.
Oh, mate, it's been great chatting through these Pokemon Charizard cards. And please, guys, let us know in the comments below, what's your favorite Charizard card? What's your favorite Charizard from what series it's from? Let us know if you own any of these, if you've got any of these in your collection. We would love to hear from you. But that is all from us today. We're the PokeBros. I'm Tin.
I'm Jon.
And we've loved having you join us. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Click that subscribe button. Make sure you're following us on all of the different podcast apps. Make sure you're following us on all of our social accounts as well. We're posting all of our polls as we get them in. Both of us just yesterday sent off PSA submissions. So in the coming weeks, when we get those back, we will be opening those live on the channel as well. We would love to have you join us again. But until next time, we'll see you then.